G'day everyone, welcome to the humble stream. If I could get an AV check while I say good morning to Adele, Silver Creek, Crowntail, and the sweet Miss Bunny Viper. How are you all today? And hopefully everyone can hear me. Things seem to be working before I come on. I've dropped the link if anyone would like to join me. As you know, over the last week or so, I've installed 2 new tanks of around 1,000 plus litres each. One is up and running. The second, well, it's still a work in progress. I haven't done much to it for the last week. And yeah, such is life. I'd like to thank my son Dwayne, my 2 grandsons Liam and Brendan, for all the hard work they put in. And it was hard work. They weigh an absolute ton. Crowntail, I'd love to have Bunny join me, but she's not feeling well again today, so I would prefer her to rest and get her health back to where it should be. G'day Red Laser, how are you today? G'day Yelling, good to see you here. Lurk away Silver Creek, it's all fun. As some of you may have seen, the African tank is up and running with my one little bit of kitsch, the downed airplane. When I seen it in the shop, I just had to have it. G'day Jeremy, how are you? And yeah, so far so good on the cichlid tank. They all seem to be happy. I will have to get a few more fish to put in, or should I say the wife will have to get a few more fish to put in. G'day AAA, how are you on this lovely day? It's currently 13 degrees in sunny Melbourne. That's 13 Celsius. And we're expecting rain and a possible thunderstorm later this afternoon. Yeah, I know you'd love that, Adele. Bit of a change from 35 in the bedroom. And Cat's melting. Thanks, AAA. Yeah, took about 160 to 175 kilos of Texas Holy Rock and approximately 80 kilos of aragonite sand, because my water is very, very soft with basically nothing in it. Oh yeah, Bunny, that'd look really good, shipwrecking your 180. I hope you take us on that journey with you. Good to hear, Adele. But yeah, mega shit ton of rock and sand in there. The other tank, the water is still almost like mud. The triple wash sand was obviously not really triple washed. Oh, not very nice there, AAA. The water is still very, very dirty. I'm going to have to do another water change after I finish the stream if I get enough time. And when I get that water cleared up, well, that's not good, Bunny. I hope you're staying inside and keeping warm. And have you found your little lost puppy yet there, Bunny? Yeah, the wife's not real happy with me because I've currently got some wood soaking in the bathtub, along with a lot of crips, swords, Java fern, all to go in the angel tank. And I'm still looking at different fish to put in because the wife wants a couple of discus, which doesn't really impress me, but hey, so be it. Oh, sorry to hear that, Bunny, about Eddie, but I'm glad you're snuggled up in bed. Keep yourself nice and toasty. And hopefully you get fit enough in one of the next streams to have that Vegemite on screen for the rest of the world to see an American's reaction. I would suggest having a bucket handy though. So yeah, the African tank, she's running well. Still got some fine adjustments to do on the sump system. It's a bit loud at the moment. But other than that, everything's good here. Still doing a lot of cleanup work from the install. G'day, Coro. Yes, Vegemite is a yeast extract. Yeah, I know, Bunny, but when you're in a marriage, things have got to go both ways. And if she didn't have her colourful fish, I probably wouldn't have either. But that's life. If I want the marriage to work, I've got to make compromises. And it's cheaper to stay in the marriage than get out. And yes, that is a joke. There's no way I'd call Vegemite sort of cheesy there, Coro. To me, it's just salty, ground up, cocky shit. But that's my personal opinion, and I won't poison Bunny's opinion of it when she tries it. So, other than that, I'm still cleaning up from the tear down of all the other tanks. Got garbage and crap everywhere. Gonna have to get a skip in shortly. G'day, bipolar. Yes, it was a joke. I wouldn't be here if I still didn't love her, but that's life. Yeah, as I was saying, got a load of crap in the backyard from the teardown. I'm going to keep the 55 gallon, the 50 litre, and a 30 litre to put into the shed, which sadly gets as hot as hell in summer, well, in a normal summer. And it'll come in handy for quarantining fish in the cooler months. Not that I'll be able to do much of that this year because I'll be off to Greece, Egypt, and Turkey in April, and not getting back until sometime in June. Oh, I don't eat potato chips either, red lasers, so it wouldn't work for me either way. No, Bunny, you've got to try it on buttered toast and a very, very, very thin layer. It's the traditional method. G'day, Dennis. How are you today? Good to see you. Yeah, so one tank up and running, one still a work in progress. We'll just see how we go. G'day, Mexicali. Good to see you here. As I say, after this stream's finished, I'll be getting back into it, doing another water change on the second tank, try and clear up some of the mud. Yes, Adele, it certainly is. And I'll take it from there. G'day, freshwater ichthyology. How are things in marvellous England this morning, this afternoon, this evening? I'm unable to keep up. G'day, only Oscars. Enjoyed your stream last night, my time. Helped me get through a long day at work. So I've still got a bucket load of work to do around the house. And just take it as it comes. I'll hope it stays warm for you there. Well, it's better than being cold, which I know some of the people in the States have been putting up with for the last week or so. An extremely cold spell. So what's happening in everyone else's life? It's just been work, tanks, work, tanks, work, tanks here. Yeah, so I'll be putting a couple of sponge filters into the sump sometime today. Rebecca, no, it's not too cold in most parts of Australia. It's a bit cool here in Melbourne this morning. We had a cool change blow through last night. Strong southwest winds coming straight from Antarctica. Up north in New South Wales and Queensland, it's been in the high 30s C. WA, it's always warm. I know they were expecting a low pressure system to blow through some parts of New South Wales and Queensland over the next few days. And hopefully it'll give them some relief from the stifling temperatures. Yeah, but other than that, I haven't got a lot going on other than working on tanks and going to and from work. The bane of my existence. I'm looking forward to retiring. Oh, find a nice cool spot there, Triple A, and have a couple of cold beers. It's the only way to get through that sort of temperature. Yeah, a lot of people think it sounds nice. Oh, thank you, Bunny. That's why I got the damn thing. I hope you can hear me really clear and I don't have to turn it up or play with it. Yeah, the good trick, Coro, is to do both, and I'm capable of putting my foot in my mouth while my head's up my arse. And I do it quite often. Ooh. Oh, that's fantastic, Bunny. I'm glad it works for you because I didn't like that you couldn't hear what I was saying. Not that I say all that much of import. 99% pure bullshit grade crap. I don't really think I was built for streaming, but that's the way life goes. Thank you, Bunny. I know you're trying to make me feel better, but I know in myself that they're not getting very much better. I still haven't got this knack of talking about nothing. I'm more the, one of the blokes at work calls me Waldorf from the Muppet Show, sitting in the back making the smart-ass comment every now and again. I don't really think so, Adele. You need to have a gift of the gab to do this caper, I think. You seem to have that ability. Yeah, thanks, Bunny. I still don't believe it, though. Well, that's all it is, a AAA. One thing I found with the fish fam is I found some very good people. In fact, some exceptional people. And to be honest, most of them are here today. I'll have to use the line I use for Lee Wilcox there, only Oscars. Bloody cats. I hope you do stream, Bunny, because you've got a lifetime full of very interesting stories. And every time you do pop up on a stream, I learn more and more about you. And that story you had the other day about learning how to make knives with your father, that does interest me. Thank you, AAA. I consider you a good mate as well. Oh, yes, you have, Bunny. And I'd love to hear more of them. Hopefully one of these days you will be fit and healthy enough to join me up on a stream. But we'll take that as it comes and when it happens. It's a skill I wish I had, Bunny, making knives, but I'm not much good with me hands. I can do a few small things, but most of them turn out to be disasters when I try, so I don't do it. And luckily I'm getting paid enough at work to be able to pay people to do things for me, like repair me cars when I need it. G'day, Salient. How's things with you today? Yeah, they are, Coro. I think that's because people seem to be getting more and more isolated these days. Yeah, I'm good, Salient. And I find that not a lot of people have got out of what we had in Melbourne, which was over the 2 years of COVID disaster, something like 187 days of lockdowns. People weren't allowed to go anywhere. G'day, Scuba Steve. How are you on this lovely day? And people have just got used to sitting at home, not doing much. They are starting to go out a bit more now, but it's still hard. I must admit I didn't mind the lockdowns because I kept a lot of traffic off the roads for when I was going to and from work. And I am basically a hermit 97% of the time. I find it hard to interact with a lot of people. And as I'm getting deaf in my old age, I find it hard to hear in groups of more than 3 or 4 people. But that's probably my own fault for firing guns without hearing protection in my youth. G'day, John. Good to see you here. Yeah, Mexicali fish are the common link, and most of us, if not all of us, have different interests elsewhere. Hello, Sketty Nonna. Good to see you. Unfortunately, Black Powder can't be here today. I've got him locked in another room to keep myself safe. But yeah, I didn't mind the lockdowns with COVID because it suited my hermit mentality. I only caught it because my son came around to visit on Good Friday last year. Well, it's a polite way of saying bullshit. They're only Oscars. I'm trying to comply with YouTube's restrictive language use. Autocorrect is a bane of existence these days. Yeah, I think it's a different reason with you, Bunny. I could go out, but I just chose not to. And yeah, as I say, it just seemed to suit my hermit mentality. And I've got into habits like spending half my life on YouTube while I'm doing other things. Like yesterday when you popped into Craig's stream, Bunny, I was feeding the fish and missed you. But that's life. On YouTube, Mexicali, they seem to frown on certain words and certain themes. Because of my interest in historical firearms, you've got a very fine line and tread on what you can do and say. I was thinking of firing up a little side channel on reloading for antique black powder cartridge rifles, which I own a few. Oh, sorry to hear that, Nonna. But anything to do with anything to do with reloading is now considered manufacturing promotions or something, and they knock them on the head straight away. And yeah, that's the reason for my name on the second channel, is my interest in old firearms. Yes, he does, Coro, and it's one of the channels I am subscribed to, is Forgotten Weapons. The other is called CR Arsenal, where they do hour-plus long videos on firearms and go through the entire history of them. They did a series of all the small arms of World War One, and for a nerd like me, it was a very, very interesting channel. It still is. It's one of the channels that I'm a patron of because I'd like to keep that content up and running on YouTube. Oh no, hope you haven't been throwing up too much, Bunny. Yeah, sadly, Coro, politics comes into everything. Even fish keeping, you'll find there's people that separate into different camps, and I try to keep out of it, but sometimes you can't avoid it. Salient, now I only have 2 tanks. The missus has restricted me to 2. And after taking measurements 15 times, I decided that I could fit 2 6-foot tanks in. They are 6 foot by 2.5 deep by 2.5 foot tall. A total of 1,085 litres, which is somewhere around 240 to 250 gallon US, or maybe a touch more. So they're a decent sized tank, and I can run decent sized fish in it. Oh, that's interesting, Dennis. I've never had a flintlock. I do have a percussion musket carbine, which is .69 cal. Also, it can be used as a 12 gauge shotgun, or slightly under 12, but 12 gauge things fit. Own a couple of Snyders, which were the earliest British self-contained cartridge rifle. The early examples were repurposed muzzle loaders. The ones I've got are Mark IIIs, which were made with steel barrels for a bit more strength and safety. I also have a couple of Martini Henrys, which is a falling block based on the old Peabody action that was invented in the US, but modified by a Swiss bloke called Martini to be hammerless, and used by the British Army from about 1871 or 2 right up to the 1888 when they introduced the Lee Enfield Mark 1, or sorry, the Lee Metford Mark 1. Oh, Tommy guns, nice. I did shoot one in Las Vegas a few years ago as part of what they call the Saving Private Ryan package. Yeah, that's one thing that you very struggle to do in here in Australia is have handguns. Very restricted. Not that I'd want a lot, but given my interest in British firearms, it'd probably be a Webley, a Mark 2, 3 or 4 or somewhere along those lines in 4.55. But the good thing is I can have long arms. I've got quite a few. Latest purchases are a 16 gauge hammered side by side black powder shotgun that I've got to get cases and components for and load up. And yes, I will be using it for bunny hunting. And I've just purchased a Model 38 Kakano carbine. Oh, it's getting on as a gun runner. Yeah. The good thing about having the antique firearms is they don't make ammunition for it anymore. So you get to produce cases out of other rounds, which I've had to do for a couple of them. The Snyder, I use 24 gauge shot shells, brass, to form cases. I have a 297-230 Morris that I have to repurpose 22 Hornet cases. It sounds like it was, Nonna. Uh, 50 cal Desert Eagle, that'd be fun to shoot a couple of times. But then again, I'd like to shoot the 5.77 Tyrannosaurus Rex. And if you don't know what that is, there are YouTube videos of it. It is a massive rifle that boots like an absolute mule. Yeah, I'm not a real knowledge base on handguns there salient. As I say, I'm mostly long arms. It's as much about the history of the pieces as the firing of them, but I will not have a safe queen. Any firearm I own gets used at the range. killing paper. Well, that was a good way of the Canadian government building up their surplus there, Nonna. Yeah, it'd be funny now that you didn't get locked up for 20 years. These are the sort of stories that a 44 mag. Well, that'd be fun there, Bunny. 12 gauges are a handy thing to have. I know you have the first load with rock salt. Which, if you've ever been hit by rock salt, it stings like an absolute bitch. Well, that's what they all say. Red laser Canadians are too nice for their own good. Yeah, Bunny, I'd go first round rock salt, second round bird shot, third round SGs, the rest slugs. Increasing your stopping power as you go. At 30 or 40 yards, the bird shot would pepper someone, wouldn't penetrate far enough to do real damage, but it will put a lot of hurt on. Something around a 7.5 to 9 shot size. G'day, Jenny Lynn. Glad to see you here. Lurk away and enjoy your dinner. Well, you better keep a good grip on it then, Bunny. I don't think you need any more smacks in the head. What else can I talk about? Other interests in life are fishing, both salt and freshwater. Oh, chicken and dumplings. Sounds very nice there, Bunny. I hope you enjoy it. And yes, she is a lovely person. I was honoured to have her drop in on one of my streams. No, only Oscars, they are nothing like you see in the movies, but it does help perpetuate the myth that they are vicious, violent things that can get up and run amok all by themselves. with no regard to the nut behind the butt. Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly, Nonna. I hate to see where Bunny would be now without her mum. Yeah, I think there's a lot more to come out about that Baldwin thing. Well, that'll be sad, Bunny. I would like to have a poke in another time if she's ever willing to do it. But then again, we've got to get you back on one of my streams before that can happen. Yeah, he may be an idiot, only Oscars, but someone else screwed up by having live ammo on the set in the first place. And of course, not checking the firearm before using it to make sure it was only blanks in it or whatever. But as I say, the truth will come out maybe. And it'll end up being a complicated 600-part story. And the law, as the law does, will only go after the one person. Bunny, you will always be invited to come up on my streams. And yes, you're my bestie on the interwebs as well. In fact, you're only the second good friend I've had in my adult life, which is a bit of an indictment on me, no doubt, but such is life. And I will send you the link every time I plan to stream. Every time. And you know how I feel about you, Bunny. I have told you. And I mean every word of it. That's sad, really, only Oscars. Everyone needs a good friend. Oh, Nonna, surely you got to... No, I'm not a sweetheart, Bunny. I'm an arsehole, I know that. But, Nonna, you say you don't have any friends, but you do have on the Fish Fam. You're a very, very loved member of it. And the place would not be the same without you. And that is the honest truth. Yeah, that's more like it, Bunny. Tell them what an arsehole I am. That's sad, only Oscars. A good friend will put up with everything that you do. They will give you a kick in the backside when you deserve it. And by Christ, I have deserved it on many occasions. In fact, I still need it every now and again. And anyone I consider a friend is quite welcome to give me that kick in the arse anytime they see fit. Oh, it's their loss there, Nonna. I have no idea why no one would want to not hang out with you. I would love to meet you and have a good yarn. And hopefully, 2024 will be the day in the year of that happening. Because by hook or by crook, I am going to the Clash. And I've already told Bunny that I want to see her there if it is humanly possible. Nonna, I would love to see you. Lady Rorschach. I've been trying to talk the Zen Ginger into going to the Clash in 24. That's still a work in progress. Of course, there's Eric Wyrock, or as I call him, Eric U. Rock, because he does, and many, many others that I'd love to meet. Oh, that's sad, Nonna. But sometimes you don't want to go to someone's mother's funeral because you don't want to be feeling like you have intruded on a family's grief. You better bloody go, Bunny, or else I'll come over there and strangle you. As I say, I want you to wrap yourself in cotton wool for the month beforehand, from your birthday to the Clash start. G'day, George. Good to see you. I won't be going much longer because I'll give everyone a chance for a bathroom break and to refresh coffee or other beverages before you start. Oh, that is sad, Nonna. G'day, Crypt. Good to see you here. I enjoyed that video of yours today. Well, I was going to say this morning, but it wouldn't be this morning your time, on how to clean sponge filters. It's always to see another way of doing things. And if anyone hasn't seen it, Crypt did put up a video on how to clean sponge filters today. Well worth watching. Yeah, no worries, George. I'm not the silver tongue that you are, and I can't talk too much for hours on end. And I do want people to be able to get to your stream and watch you. It's the fishy dad jokes today, isn't it? Yep, filter gravy. Comes in handy though when you're trying to start up a new tank. It's definitely worth a watch there, George. And like most of Crip's videos, very entertaining. Oh, certainly is great in the garden there, Crip. I use it on all me soft herbs. Keeps the mint, the sage, the chives all growing really happy. We love watching you, George. Well, that's probably not a bad idea, Crypt. You water your plants at the same time as feeding them. I've had a lot of aggravation with holes smaller than 2 inches there, only Oscars, but that may be a different story. But maybe you need to try a different size rubber grommet or whatever they call the bloody thing, spacer. No, but I'll keep my eye out there, Bunny. Might cost a bit to ship one to you from Australia, though. Yeah, I love that plane wreck there, Nonna. As soon as I seen it in a fish store, I had to have one. And it seems to fit the scape pretty well. As I said, I'll have a keep an eye out, Bunny. I haven't seen any 4 foot long, but if I do, I will let you know. I'll even have to get an Australian flag for it. I'll work on turning you into an honorary Aussie there, Bunny. G'day, Steve C. And it is Friday here in Australia, so g'day. It would be hard there, Nonna, but I would send it via the post to Bunny. Steve C. Currently in Melbourne, it is 9:50 a.m. Friday, the 3rd of the 2nd, or as the Americans would say, the 2nd of the 3rd. Where Adele is in Queensland, it'd be 8:50 a.m. and different times across towards the west. South Australia would be 9:20. And it'll be 4:51 in Oklahoma. Which is about the only part of the US I've got down pat so far. For some reason, I know the time zone there. Anyhow, I'm going to pull the pin on this live. Oh, you waited a minute just to prove me wrong there, Bunny. Oh, so you're in the same time zone as Bunny there, Nonna. That makes it easy to figure out. No worries, thanks, Crip. Yeah, I'm going to pull the pin on this, give everyone a chance for a bathroom break, a coffee, another beverage of choice, maybe an eggnog for Bunny if she can keep it down. And I will see you all in the streams. Have a good day, everyone, and bye.